Hello everyone, my name is Vishwas. So today we are going to learn some lessons of class 7th from our NCERT book. So in this video I am going to teach you about nutrition in plants. I am going to read each and every line and I am going to discuss all the points and explain it in brief, right? So let's start the chapter number 1, nutrition in plants. In class 6, you have learned that food is essential for all living organisms. So, you need food for living, you need food for performing out various life activities as well. So, what is there in the food? Carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals are components of food. These components of food are necessary for our body and are called nutrients. So, all these components which are there in the food that I am mentioning in the video, all these components we call as nutrients also, that is very much required for us and for carrying out various life processes. All living organisms require food. Plants can make their food themselves, but animals cannot. Can we make our food? No. We just cook our food that we obtain from plants and other living organisms. They get it from plants or animals that eat plants. Thus, human and animals are directly or indirectly dependent on plants. So, what we are trying to say is each and everyone out here, we are dependent directly or indirectly upon plants in order to obtain our food. If even we are eating any other organism, that organism is obtaining energy from plants only, right? So, Wujo wants to know how plants prepare their food. Do you know how plants prepare their food? Obviously, you all know the process known as photosynthesis that we are going to explain in this video as well. Mode of nutrition in plants. So, plants are the only organisms that can prepare food for themselves by using water, carbon dioxide, and minerals in the presence of sunlight, obviously. The raw materials are present in the surroundings. So all the raw materials like water, CO2 and minerals are present either in soil, either in air, either in atmosphere. So they are going to take all those nutrients and perform their process of nutrition, right? The nutrition enable living organisms to build their bodies. So nutrients that we are obtaining from nutrition, they are helping to build up their bodies, they are helping them to grow, they are helping them to repair the damaged body parts. For example, let's take our example only. If we are getting hurt or our tissues get worn out, so what happens is our body automatically recovers from it. How they recover? Because the food that we are eating, the body is getting energy from that food and they are repairing those tissues, those who have got damaged, right? And provide the energy to carry out their life processes. So, nutrition is the mode of taking food. What is nutrition? न्यूट्रिशन इज द मोड ऑफ टेकिंग फूड बाय एन ऑर्गेनिज्म. जैसे हम लोग खाना कैसे खाते हैं, हम लोग खाना कैसे खाते हैं थ्रू आवर माउथ. So basic mode of nutrition is from starts from mouth only, right? So and its utilization by the body. The mode of nutrition in which organisms make food themselves from simple substances is called autotrophic. So those organisms which make their own food are called autotrophs, and this mode of nutrition is called autotrophic. जो भी ऑर्गेनिजम्स अपना खाना खुद बनाते हैं वो ऑटोट्रॉफ्स कहलाते हैं, और इस प्रोसेस को हम लोग क्या कहते हैं? ऑटोट्रॉपिक, राइट? Trophs means nourishment, auto means self, as it's mentioned over here also. Therefore, plants are called autotrophs because they prepare their own food. So, they are autotrophic. Animals and most other organisms take in ready-made food prepared by the plants. For example, if we talk about us, heteros means other, right? So we are dependent upon other plants and animals to obtain our own food. Okay, can you make your own food? No, you can only cook your own food. You cannot make. Pahili wants to know why our body cannot make our food from carbon dioxide, water, and minerals like plant do. Great question. Now we may ask where the food factories of plants are located. whether food is made in all the parts of the plant or only in certain parts. So your reply will be only in certain parts. Plants cannot make food in all the parts of their body. So, how do plants obtain the raw materials from the surroundings? Like water from the roots, minerals from the roots, where roots are present in the soil, right? And the other thing, CO2 from the atmosphere, and CO2 is also they got from the few content from water or nearby surroundings or from soil or some fertilizers and all. And nitrogen is also required by the plants that they obtain from the rhizobium bacteria which is present in the root nodules, right? How do they transport them to the food factories of the plant? तो ये सारा न्यूट्रिशन जो भी ये ऑब्जर्व कर रहे हैं मिनरल्स वगैरह ले रहे हैं सॉइल से या एयर से वो कहाँ से कहाँ कैसे पहुँचता है तो उनके पास कुछ नर्व्स वगैरह कुछ होती होंगी जैसे हमारी बॉडीज में होती हैं Yes, they are also having two things that is known as xylem and the other thing is known as phloem. These are basically tubular vesicles that helps the plants to transport water and minerals to all the body parts, right? Okay. Now the process known as photosynthesis, food making process in plants. So photosynthesis, you all will be very much familiar about this process that plants make their own food in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, right? So this process is known as photosynthesis. Therefore, all the raw materials must reach there in the leaves of the plant where the food they are going to make. So water and minerals present in the soil are absorbed by the roots and transported to the leaves. Carbon dioxide from air is taken in through the tiny pores present on the surface of the leaves. These tiny pores we call as stomata, and these stomata are surrounded or controlled by the guard cells. Right? Guard cells are basically those cells which controls the opening and closing of the stomata. Right? Now another question. Bojo wants to know how water and minerals absorbed by roots reach their leaves. So the answer will be water and minerals are transported to the leaves by the vessels, like I have told you right now, xylem and phloem, right? Which run like pipes throughout the root. The stem, the branches, and the leaves they form a continuous path or passage for the nutrients to reach the leaf, right? So this we will study in chapter 11 in detail. But just remember the two things, xylem and phloem, right? So Paheli wants to know what is so special about the leaves that they can synthesize food but other parts of the plants cannot. That means why only leaves can synthesize food? Why not other plants? So leaves have a green pigment, special green pigment called chlorophyll, which which are present in the leaves to capture the energy from the sunlight. So it uses sunlight to prepare their food or synthesize their food from CO2 and water. Since the synthesis of food occurs in the presence of sunlight, it is called as photosynthesis. Why photo? Because photo means light, synthesis means to combine, right? So we find that chlorophyll, sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water are necessary to carry out the process of photosynthesis, and it is a very unique process on Earth. So sun is basically the ultimate source of energy for all the living organisms because all the living organisms are dependent upon plants and plants are obtaining energy from the sun. So in the absence of photosynthesis, there will be no plants, no survival, no living organisms can survive because they cannot get energy for their survival. So this is a figure about the photosynthesis. So here you can see in the figure that carbon dioxide is getting absorbed by the leaves, right? The stomata are present that are tiny pores, and these carbon dioxide is utilized by the leaves in making a what? Food. Yes. Leaves make food in the presence of sunlight, carbon dioxide, oxygen, and chlorophyll. Right? So, see this. During the process, oxygen is released. So, in this process, what happens is oxygen is kind of a waste product for the plants, and plants release oxygen outside in the surroundings. So, the carbohydrates ultimately get converted into starch in this process. The presence of starch in leaves indicates the occurrence of photosynthesis. अब जो प्रेजेंस है स्टार्च का लीव्स के अंदर, वो हमें क्या बताता है कि photosynthesis is taking place inside the plants, right? You can see the guard cells. These are the guard cells. These are stomatal pores. ये जो minute spaces हैं, right? And this is a cross-sectional view of the stomata. So today we have learned about plants, how they make their own food, the process of photosynthesis. So in the next video, I will tell you more about the other processes and we will continue the chapter. So I hope you might have liked this video, and kindly go to the channel button and subscribe the channel by clicking on the subscribe button, and the for getting updates about the new videos that we are going to upload in the future. So I hope it has helped you out, right? So have a nice day and be safe at home. Be protected from coronavirus. Thank you.